This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
Taking a live look over downtown St. Louis tonight. So pretty out. And if you're going out, though, you will want to grab a jacket. We will have some of our coldest temperatures this season this weekend. Thank you for joining me. I'm Ann Allred. There's even the possibility of frost for some areas. Our Weather First team's keeping an eye on the temperatures tonight. So let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. For a lot of people, they have been waiting a long time for this.
For some that want the cold air, it's here. Now it's moving in. Now, here's the thing. We're kind of in this pattern where we're going to be chilly for tomorrow, warmer on Sunday, and then chilly again by Monday. But the bottom line is tomorrow, for the first time in a long time, temperatures will drop back into the 30s away from town and lower 40s in town. Probably the coldest air we've seen since the very end of April or the very beginning of May, depending on where you are. Cold front came through. Temperatures continue to drop. We're down to 51 degrees now in St. Louis. That frost advisory, it doesn't include St. Louis. In fact, most of the area, we don't have to worry much about frost tonight, but Phelps and Dent counties down to the southwest of St. Louis, that's where there's a slightly better chance of seeing some of that patchy frost. And for the most part, it'll be light patchy frost, and it's mainly west of St. Louis. But the chilly, dry air is now here. The winds will settle towards daybreak. That helps with frost formation. So that patchy frost possible mainly west of St. Louis. We'll catch you in a few minutes. We'll talk about all the changes coming over the weekend and some big news on the middle of next week too, Ann.
You can always get our Weather First forecast by texting the word weather to 314-425-5355. A woman is dead after a suspected drug overdose inside of the Ferguson Walmart. Tonight, we're learning police have been called to the store hundreds of times just this year. Robert Townsend has more about the type of crimes police are seeing.
When we stopped by this Ferguson Walmart Friday afternoon, everything appeared to be peaceful. But around 8 this morning, police descended on the North County store after a female shopper made a startling discovery.
There was a female found unconscious and not breathing in the female bathroom.
Police say the 25-year-old victim died from an apparent drug overdose.
It was a somber moment in there. We all felt sorry for her.
Police closed the store for several hours. It's not the first time this Walmart has been at the center of police investigations. Police say in February of 2020, a suspected shoplifter shot a Calverton Park police officer multiple times when he was off duty and working as a security guard at the business. In October of last year, a violent brawl broke out inside the store among shoppers who knew each other.
Fairly crazy.
Craig Brooks was inside the store that day when customers attacked each other, threw objects, and sprayed fire extinguishers.
Wasn't really expecting that. I thought it was just going to be like a standard day.
I just come here when I have to.
I checked with Ferguson police and they tell me since January 1st they've been called out here to this Walmart to investigate nearly 500 calls. A majority of those calls, they say, were for shoplifting.
It's not the store. It's when you have a business that is as popular as Walmart is, it's going to attract a lot of people. And you're going to get the more people, the more opportunity for, more crime.
Private security officers routinely patrol outside the Walmart. Inside, off-duty police officers try to keep the store safe.
Just be respectful to one another and just go about your business, get what you need, get out, try not to start any trouble.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
We are going to win. And I'm going to also say this. We are going to win because we love our country.
Thank you.
We love our country and we believe in who we are, and our country is worth fighting for, and we know it.
Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris was in St. Louis. She made a stop at the Democratic National Committee meeting downtown. And just hours ago, some other members of the DNC stopped to visit United Auto Workers on the picket line in Wentzville, including the chairman. That's after the UAW union decided not to expand its strike this week.
But I do want to be really clear. We are making significant progress.
Workers have been striking against Ford, Stellantis, and General Motors for weeks now. That includes the GM plant right here in Wentzville. The union's president says he was prepared to expand the strike at GM's most profitable plant in Arlington, Texas. That's been called off since the GM agreed to put electric vehicle battery manufacturing into a possible contract. Workers are still on strike, pushing for better pay, shorter work weeks, and traditional pensions. Developing tonight, growing reaction into the St. Louis mayor's plans to bring change at the City Justice Center. 10 detainees have died in city custody in the last 2 years. 3 of them this year, all within a 6-month period. As our Brent Solomon explains, some are saying the city needs to do more. Brent.
And city leaders approved the mayor's plan to invest $2 million into hiring a medical team to get to work at the CJC. It involves hiring 11 people to help make sure detainees' health is taken care of. Tonight, a member of the Jail Oversight Committee says that's not enough.
As a family member, I'd be petrified if I had a loved one accused of a crime and they were in the City Justice Center right now.
Former St. Louis Health Director Pam Walker now sits on the city's Detention Facilities Oversight Board, a group the mayor created to advise her and jail and law enforcement officials about operations, conditions, and policies. After 10 deaths at the CJC in 2 years,
That is just way too many.
Walker says the board was not asked to weigh in on a new policy city officials just approved. The $2 million plan involves the creation of a chief medical officer and a team of 10 new workers to report to that person. Walker says that's a good first step, but realizes it will take some time to get that team running.
And we need something more immediate. There needs to be someone in there now looking at what is happening and making sure that changes are made now.
She refers to one of the most recent deaths. 32-year-old Carlton Bernard died in August. The medical examiner says from a specific type of dehydration caused by diabetes, not from being deprived of water. The medical examiner says there was no record of the detainee ever being diagnosed with that disease in the medical records she reviewed.
I mean, who responded? Did the corrections officers respond? Did the healthcare provider respond? Those kind of hard questions have got to be asked. It's your responsibility to make sure they didn't die.
Walker says at the end of the day, it's about humanity and the right to health care, even in detention.
The City Justice Center is a place where you're supposed to hold people and hold them safely. It's not a place where people should go to die.
Right now, the city is suing a private contractor that has handled medical care at the jail. A new private health care provider is expected to start in December. That's on top of the new chief medical officer and staff that will come on at the jail. We don't know when that team will start.
Today, the St. Louis Board of Aldermen introduced a new bill to protect the homeless. It's called the Unhoused Bill of Rights. This comes days after the city removed a homeless encampment right outside City Hall. The bill proposes safe camping areas and expands mobile bathrooms and showers. It now moves on to a committee. Crews are investigating this fire at the Railway Exchange building in downtown St. Louis. It started just before 3:30 this afternoon, and fire officials are telling us it started from the outside on the first floor. That building is the one that used to be the flagship store for Famous Bar. It's been empty for years, and city leaders say homeless people and vandals have recently been making their way inside. Coming up, $1 billion Powerball jackpot is up for grabs, but can you stay anonymous if you win? Our verified team explains which states will keep your identity a secret.
A bit of a weekend weather whiplash across the bi-state area. A couple of cold mornings, one warm afternoon. We'll break it down in just a few.
You can try your luck on a $1.4 billion Powerball jackpot this weekend. It's a $614 million cash value, and it's the third highest Powerball jackpot of all time. The drawing is tomorrow night, 10 p.m., and tonight our verified team explains which states allow you to remain anonymous if you do win. Here's Brandon Lewis.
Verify here with your Fast Fact. There's a lot of money at stake in the upcoming lottery jackpot, and many of you emailed us asking, can you stay anonymous if you win? Our sources are the State Lottery Commissions, Powerball, and Mega Millions. Powerball and Mega Millions are played in nearly every state. They all require you to provide identifying information to claim your prize, but each state then makes its own rules about whether to release the winner's name to the public. If you win the Powerball or Mega Millions jackpot, these 17 states will keep your information private if you'd like. But that doesn't mean you're out of luck everywhere else. For example, Colorado only releases the winner's first name and the first initial of their last name. Other states, like Florida or Arkansas, wait a few months or years to reveal the winner's name. And some states have loopholes that allow you to claim through a trust or LLC, which lets you hide your real name. Some states also have exemptions for victims of stalking or domestic violence. With your Fast Fact, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Well, the cool air is in across St. Louis at this point, and it's just going to get colder as the night wears on. The winds have started settling down a little bit after gusting to around 30 earlier today. Those winds not so gusty now, and where they've really started to settle down, Lake of the Ozarks down towards Rolla and Salem, already in the lower 40s. Those are the areas that'll be looking at the potential for some patchy areas of frost as we head into tomorrow morning. 71 was our high. That was when the sun was out ahead of the cold front. 51 was the morning low. That's actually where we are right now in St. Louis. That cold front came on through. It brought with it the band of clouds. That lasted 3 to 4 hours. That's moved on. Skies mainly clear. This is all dry air, and it is very chilly air that's sliding in across the region. In fact, first of the year freeze warnings for a lot of places here, all the way from Kansas up into the Dakotas. The frost advisories getting closer to St. Louis, only down to Rolla at this point. That's as close as it gets. But these are the areas where we're looking at mid-30s. Salem back to Rolla tomorrow morning. That's cold enough to create some frost. As you get towards Union, out to Wentzville, Truxton, Hawk Point, heading up towards western portions of Pike County, in the Bowling Green area too, maybe even a couple of spots down here in Washington, Crawford County. The low spots normally colder. That's where there's the potential, or at least a better potential, of seeing some patchy areas of frost. Now tomorrow afternoon, the sun's back. It's going to be a bright afternoon, but we're only in the lower 60s. If you're going to that Mizzou game, it's an 11 o'clock kickoff tomorrow in Columbia. Only 54 degrees at 2 o'clock, about 60. While not as breezy tomorrow, there's still a breeze during the afternoon. Now that settles as we head into tomorrow night and into early Sunday. We'll still have areas potentially of some frost around. Patchy frost, not season-ending killing frost for most of us. We go into your Sunday here, and there's lots of sunshine, just a few clouds. Temperatures are in the low 70s for us. This is our weather whiplash. Couple of really cold mornings, then you're back into the low 70s Sunday, cooling it off again a bit on Monday. Listen, next week it gets really active. There's a lot of wind here towards the end of next week too. I know there's not a lot of color right now, Ann, but enjoy what fall color there is at the moment.
Scott, thank you, and thank you for watching 5 on Your Side at 10. Here's Corey Miller with 5 on Your Sideline.